Brionne, we saw last night El abrazo de la serpiente, Studio 13. It was so emotional. How are you receiving the response of the public so far here in Cannes?
I feel like everyone is thrilled with the film. I think the film reaches into your, and it did for me, and I think for the audience it reaches in and grabs your soul and pulls it out and displays it, and you have to look at yourself because it's a reflection of humanity across the board, past and present.
How do you got into this project? How it came up for you to cast here?
It's a pretty amazing story. I had done a film 3 years ago called Avenged, and a producer on that film, Jason Davies, knew David, Christina's brother, who is also a producer on El abrazo de la serpiente. And David contacted Jason to ask for actors that he knew would deliver and be up for a journey and this experience, and I was chosen from my headshot and an interview with Ciro, and I was so passionate about it and about doing it and the experience itself, and Ciro I think was moved by my passion, and I feel like it's been a gift. It was a gift to get the role, that he trusted me, and I trusted him, and we gained each other's trust along the way, as well as I gained the trust of the jungle, which was a magnificent feat to undertake.
I think it's a life experience.
It's quintessentially the most amazing life experience. I've had many amazing experiences in my life, but when you are doing what you love to do, and you are put in a world that is completely foreign to you, and every element of your being is tested on a daily basis. That's what living life is, and I want to put that into every character that I do and every role that I take on and every day of my life. So
we were talking with Ciro, and he said that this film somehow changed him for good. Happens the same to you, I guess.
Okay, so there were moments where I would be in the canoe and the river and the moon and everything, and my entire life would come into that moment, and I would say, I'm here. This is my life. This is what I get to experience. When I had first gotten to Me Too, a butterfly, a moth, a large, they're big moths, landed on my foot, and my friend said that when a moth or a butterfly lands on you, it means you're going to go through a metamorphosis, a change in your life. And I got goosebumps all over me, and I knew that it would come. I knew that metamorphosis would change me and the experience would change me, but it wasn't going to happen overnight. And I've opened myself up to the experience, and now here I am in France at Cannes Film Festival, and my life is changing. It's changing for the better, not only just for me aesthetically, but on an emotional and spiritual level. And seeing the film on Friday and having the people say thank you for the experience was that's why I do what I do, to reach people and educate them and inspire them, and it's unexplainable. The entire experience is unexplainable. So the last scene of the film, I can't say anything because I don't want to ruin it, but I wish I could. I can't say anything, right? I can't ruin it.
It was very emotional.
It was very emotional for me to experience it in real life, and then for me to be able to experience it watching it in the movie.
How do you prepare this character?
With my characters, especially someone as complex as Richard, I do an elaborate amount of research. I journal as the character. I do character bios on the character. So I started the beginning of his life where he was born. When he was young, he developed an affinity for plants, and then that became an obsession and a passion. And then he was not wealthy, but he ended up getting into Harvard School, and became the father of ethnobotany through his passion and his love and trusting. And so I just did an extensive amount of research on him. But I knew no matter what I read One River, I read a couple of other books, and did a lot of research online. I knew no matter what I read that nothing was going to prepare me for the experience that I was about to go through. And when I got there, I was there 2 weeks before we started shooting my role. And I memorized, and I don't memorize lines. They just come because I know my objective, my intention, and what I want. And so memorizing Witoto for 10 hours a day. There would be one paragraph, and I would go over and over and over again for like 3 hours. So that preparation was very intellectual, and then when you get on set, you have to let it all go so that you can just live in the moment, and the lines would come out. And I can say one of the lines, Puera fue cuando nabaire, damo kwaere, I forgot the rest. That will be with me forever.
How was the fact of working with Nilbio and Antonio?
You can't. Antonio is a father. He's a friend. When I see him, I just see a big heart. You know, he's open and excited, and he lives with his heart, and he lives without any kind of judgment on anyone or any experience. And there was a moment where he was weaving a basket when we were in Me Too, and just living. And Nilbio, I didn't get to work with Nilbio at all in the film, but he was there and present. And he was so excited and interested, and just when he had finished shooting, he was like being one of the production assistants. So he was out with a walkie-talkie and guiding people and helping people and lifting things, and because he wanted to be involved. And I think I put myself in his shoes for a moment, and I try to think of what this whole experience is like for him. I mean, it's overwhelming for me, so I can't imagine what he's going through. I love them, and I thought that I would possibly never see them again.
What do you feel about the responsibility of somehow trying to recover all these cultures so they don't get lost? I don't know if you catch that.
In terms of the film's responsibility, yeah, or my own responsibility?
Well, no. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Your responsibility as a part of the film.
My responsibility as an actor is to tell a story honestly and truthfully, and allow myself to go through the experience authentically. And I had no other choice but to trust in Ciro. And I knew right away that I could, and I knew right away that if I just give him options and we communicate and we play, and I just opened myself up to this experience and working with him, then I was going to be okay. That was going to be fine. So my responsibility as an actor is to trust in the production and the team, and move forward. And the film's responsibility and my participation in that, when I read the script, I knew that it was going to live on forever, and these people, their voices needed to be heard. And where I come from, you know, this history is it's hardly mentioned, you know, and it's very unfortunate, because if we don't know history, then we're condemned to repeat it, correct? So that I leave behind, my journey is leaving behind a legacy of stories. And if I'm a part of something that's like this, then I'm thrilled and excited, and that it will continue, and these voices and these languages that I got to speak this language and learn from these people and sit and observe these people. I've done my job.